Hi, I would like to make a small record here about the process that I've walked with learning for an exam that I needed to do. It is an exam for a license for to be able to sell some of the medicine that drugstores are selling, and I need it for my work because the medicine for homeopathy are also falling under this license. So to be able to sell the homeopathic medicine, you also need that license. So I proposed in the beginning of this year, or actually December last year, okay, let's do that, let's get that license. And so 3 of us at work, we started with it. And that was more difficult than I and also the others expected. And difficult in the sense that the common sense in it was not difficult at all. But the medicine, of course, have all names that didn't make sense to me at all, because it were all new names and I could not relate them to anything. Except, of course, from a few that I already knew, or that I already knew some part of the names of it. But so I had no context, no thing that I could relate it to. So it was more like I needed to get the names in my head, and as well as the names of the medicine, as well as the names of the ingredient, the main ingredient, as well as who will be able to use it, as well as who will not be able to use it, and from what age and what dose. So, well, it was really the how do you call it, like putting the things in the head like we had done at school. And already back then I had difficulties with just putting things in my head, and I could do it, but then I had to repeat it over and over and over again. So what I started this year is go through all the lessons, write it down. However, when I had done one lesson and go to the next than what was in the lesson before, I already had forgotten, because the names didn't make sense or relate to anything for me. So I did that for quite some time, and I knew I had to repeat it more and more and more. And in the end, I finally could order also a book where I could write everything in. So without writing everything down for myself, where also a whole book was created, I could write it structurally in one lesson book, you could say. So what I saw within myself, this is actually what I wanted to share, is how during the lessons, and mainly when I started to do the tests afterwards, I had many moments that I wanted to give up. Like, oh my god, I cannot do it. Oh my god, I will never make it. But we needed to get that license. We paid a lot of money for that license. I had brought it up to get that license. And I just wanted to get that license because it would be best for our store, for myself, for my colleagues. So that license we need to have. So I couldn't allow myself to give up and just move on. So that's what I did. Okay, directly stop with the thought of giving up and move on. And well, first I studied one lesson per week, and then I stopped for a while, so there was too much time in between, so I forgot about things in it, and that was also what was not approached best possible way. So in the end I saw, okay, if I want to get that exam to come to be ready to that exam, I need to not give myself time in between, because then I forget about the names, etc. So I started to study more often, more times a week, planned it in and planned out other tasks. And what I here slowly saw building was that I started recognizing the names, and that I started recognizing ingredients, and that I slowly started to remember the things. And this is a very simple example of pushing through and just keep on doing the same thing until it is integrated, and until I can remember, and until I can apply it. And this is only a very small example with studying, and I've studied a lot, of course, when I was much younger, and I did it the same. I had to repeat and repeat, and then I was prepared well, and then I did my tests well. But if I did not prepare, then I wouldn't make it. I wouldn't recognize the right answers within the multiple choice questions. I always tended to choose the wrong question. So I really needed to do it on learning and recognizing the right answers, because I had prepared myself well. So because I knew I could do this before, I knew I could do it now. So that was a plus for me. So it wasn't totally new, but it was new in the sense that it was a long time ago that I had to study like this, to get information, to get it within me, that I didn't directly see the common sense of, or that I didn't directly need it in my daily life or even at work, because most medicine we do not sell at all. But simply because it would be best if I push through, and for another goal actually. And also what I saw is it is quite cool to have some knowledge of it also within my job. So enough motivation to push through. And I saw coming back what we are here applying in daily life, to keep on pushing and to not give up, and to keep on repeating until we are able to remember, to apply. To remember and to apply and to integrate it within ourselves. So that was a cool point in it. I also saw within myself that I built up a lot of tension, especially the last week, because I did pass the exam. I have the certification now, so that's cool. With a good result also, because I prepared well. What I saw is that I really built up tension and pressure within myself. So this is something that I will talk about later, also how I will investigate, and I really need to practice how I can overcome that. But I can also later on share how I could within a day start releasing the build-up tension by actively approaching it within myself, within the application of self-forgiveness. Okay, this is it for now. A bit longer than I planned, because I wanted to explain the situation. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.